What's up, guys? Super special video today. I'm going to be taking you guys through a full week's worth of live trading from Monday to Friday, showing you guys my full thought process from the pre-market to the actual market sessions, to how I executed my P&L, my face cam, just everything. And then, of course, the trade recaps at the end. So it's going to be a super special video, super raw, uncut type of video. I haven't really seen anyone do this before. So let me know if you guys enjoy this format. If you did, yeah, let me know in the comments below, and yeah, let's get started. All right, so I just finished up my pre-market prep. I do this every single morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys want to check out how I prepare for the market, I do this every single day. But so far, coming into this week, we have a big gap up on Tesla. So we're just going to be looking for Tesla continuations towards the upside. As long as we maintain key areas, we expect Tesla to continue higher with the overall market as well. So this week's game plan really is fairly simple. We're just going to be looking for Tesla long positions towards the upside. Yeah, keep an eye on Tesla. It's defending your 336. 5-minute candle closure, reclaim of your opening candle print will launch this thing back towards the upside. You can be looking at the 350s. For Tesla, we can do one of two things. You can either look for an entry off this, risking off low of day, or you can wait for this opening candle range. Either one is fairly good. So yeah, Q's coming down for this gap fill right here. As for Tesla, so Tesla's coming back now for this basically 5-minute opening range retest. We'll see the reaction off Tesla. Now it's going to be like a 5-minute setup, but the 340 area is going to be key on Tesla, 340.78. Yeah, I like Tesla's setup. It's a 5-minute break and retest. Yeah, Q's just filled the gap there as well. I just took some of the 350s on Tesla with the Q's filling the gap right there. Yeah, with the Q's just filling the gap there, Tesla has clear shot towards his 350. Yeah, so Q's right now, it's right at this gap fill. So Q's is in a very key area. Tesla, I would have liked to see a break there. Now it's coming back down. The 5-minute still looks fine. We'll see how this 5-minute candle closes. Yeah, so far Q's defending the gap level. Tesla, this is the key level. It has to show some reaction around this 340. Yeah, Tesla's trying to defend this 340 level. Q's right around this gap fill. So Q's, we'd like to see a reaction off this gap fill and then push back towards upside if Tesla wants to head higher. So yeah, Q's getting that mini reaction off that gap fill. We like to see a break back above your really 497.40s, which is your opening range low on the 5-minute time frame. Tesla, we'd like to see a push higher here with the Q's if it can get back above your 497.40s. Yeah, so SPY reclaiming that 586. Q's trying to come back towards this 498 once again. As I mentioned, these are the key levels on SPY and Q's. For the SPY, it's going to be this right here. We're actually trying to get above it right now. As for Tesla, the 5-minute on Tesla still looks very much intact, higher time frames. Right, 1 minute came back down, 5-minute still looks fairly good. What I like to see now is the break above your 498 on Q's, and then Tesla, that high of day level, which is 345. Yeah, 5-minute candle closed above Q's. Right, Tesla now we like to see it kind of just gravitate towards that 490 level. Yeah, for Tesla now, basically 494. That was our major level of resistance, that 345 level. Now we like to see all dips basically get bought up. So now we like to see right this be used as a retest for that continuation back towards that 350. Really, there's nothing kind of stopping Tesla now once it got above that 345. Qs like to see this retest. Tesla push towards that 350. If you're on the 5-minute time frame, right, you can maintain as long as it maintains higher lows, right, maintains this general area, right. I do still expect it to gravitate towards that 350. You might have to take a little bit longer now, but I still expected, right. 5 minutes still intact, right. Clear target is still that 350. Yeah, as for Tesla, as I mentioned, don't look at every single 1-minute candle, right. If you're gonna be trailing, just be on the 5-minute time frame. Let me actually just go back. Yeah, I'm gonna call it here a day as well. Yeah, as long as Tesla, right, 5 minutes stays intact, really the key level now is for me is gonna be this 340, this previous pivot point that it bounced at. I like to see Tesla kind of just stair step towards the upside here. So just finished up Monday's trading session. We had a great session today. We're looking for Tesla longs towards the upside. This one had a gap up over the weekend, so gapped up around 6%. We're just looking for continuations towards your pre-market high and above. Never quite got to your pre-market high, which was a little bit unfortunate. I really wanted to see that level get hit, but still super solid trade. Two partial targets and then stopped out the rest of the contracts in profit. Super solid day on Tesla. We've been just doing what's working. Tesla's been a nice machine towards the upside ever since elections and earnings. We've been just moving towards the upside. It's been a very nice move. Kind of reminds me of the price action back from like 2021, 2022. So Tesla been super solid. We're just going to continue to ride this momentum towards the upside, and that's what we're going to be doing. So yeah, I will see you guys in tomorrow's session. Yeah, Q's just came back to that 498 Tesla, but we like to see this level hold, which is your 336, basically opening range order block as well. Yeah, I like to see one more dip on Tesla back down to your 336. Q's now breaking above your 498, which is a good sign. Yeah, I just took the 340s as well. Q's nice hold as well. We should get that push back up towards this gap fill on Tesla. Gap fill is at your 339, basically your previous day close. Yeah, Q's retesting. Tesla was actually right at that gap level, which is at 335. I was looking for a little bit more room towards that 340, but came back down. We'll see if it kind of sets still up, still technically valid on the higher time frames if we get back above 336. Yeah, the 5 minute looks really good on Tesla. Yeah, so far the Q's still around this like 498. That's just that general area. Tesla, the 5 minute, you like to see the hold above that 336. Yeah, with the Q's, you like to see Tesla now, right? 340 key level, and then you like to see that continuation higher. Yeah, now with the keys consolidating, Tesla really has a clear shot back up towards 344. 340 a key if it can hold above it, which we're getting above now, right? You like to see really 5 minute candle closure above this key area. This was a key pivot point from yesterday. Yeah, so for Tesla, a little bit of reaction off this 340 level. The key level now we like to see hold is that previous key pivot point. If Q's, as long as Q's doesn't if Q's just consolidates Tesla, I like to see that next leg higher on Tesla. Or if Q's moves higher, potentially back towards high of day in this gap fill, Tesla has a lot more room higher based off the higher time frames. Yeah, you can see the Qs. You can see the buyer stepping on Tesla. Qs is just consolidating here. Uh, Pre-market high is at 344. Next level I have is at 340. Just keep it high. Yeah, as long as Q's consolidates, because Q does have this gap fill, as I mentioned, back towards the upside, right? Tesla by itself, like as long as Q's consolidates, Tesla higher time frame bullish. This one can just move higher by itself. But if the Q's ends up potentially coming back to fill this gap, right? Tesla has a really good shot of moving higher. It just needs either this buy or Qs to just stay where it's at or have this potential pushback up towards this gap fill. So far, I don't really expect Qs to move that much after the action that it had in the pre-market. So I would just like to see it consolidate. Yeah, for Tesla, I like to see it hold this 1 minute order block. I like to see Qs, right? Qs for me, I like to see it push back up, try and head back towards this gap fill. Tesla, I like to see it hold this area, which is this 1 minute order block. Right now, I don't want to see Tesla get really back underneath this 340. Yeah, SPY and Qs still within inside this range. SPY pushing back up once again. Same as Qs. We'll see if we can get that break above your 498.80s on the QQQ. That's going to be key. I just looked up and SPY breaking above as well. So Q SPY, clear move towards this gap fill back towards the upside. SPY as well, right? We'd like to see this gap fill kind of start gravitating back towards the highs, right? Nice candle closure. And then Tesla, really that, as I mentioned, right? If the Qs breaks above that, that should alleviate Tesla. Next level, really 344.50s and then above as well. So Qs, gap fill, SPY as well. continuation towards the upside. Yeah, super solid. This is a key level right here, 144 on Tesla. Really, the next, I only have this area and then really all the way back up towards yesterday's previous high. So this is like a miniature key pivot point in between this range from yesterday, really above this one. Next level is all the way up here. So this is a key level where you can look to take partials, and then next level all the way up here. All right. Yeah, I'm going to call it. Actually, I just missed a phone call, but yeah, I'm gonna call it. I'll have this live session uploaded for you guys. Yeah, I'll have this live session upload for you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. All right. Take care, everyone. So markets closed now. We end up finishing our trading session for the day. Tesla, another super solid trade towards the upside. This time, we end up hitting the 84% rule. So stopped out on 10 contracts on the first trade, re-entered on the 84% rule with 20, rode that up fairly nicely towards the upside. So super solid trade back to back on Tesla, Monday and Tuesday. We're up nice for the week. Tesla's been having a nice push and really having a nice setup towards the upside. And we're just going to keep continuing to long Tesla as long as the market presents good setups on Tesla. We're just continuing to do the same things over and over again. So, yeah, that's it for today. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. So, yeah, right off the bat, Q so far, a little bit of a reaction off that 503 key area. What we're going to be looking for Tesla is their opening. We're going to mark out that opening candle. That's going to be important now for a reclaim of that key area. Yeah, a couple names dropping towards the downside so far. We do have Nvidia pulling back underneath its previous day high now. So most likely Nvidia, if it closes on the 5-minute, this one is just going to be inside the range for today. The key level, next level on Nvidia is down towards 145, but this one you just want to be patient and just wait until after earnings. So yeah, Q is really back inside of yesterday's middle of the range. Same as SPY as well, just kind of back inside yesterday's range here. For the Qs, like now it's kind of range bound, right? 590, 580. Could you be looking for maybe a short down towards your 586? It's going to be a little bit trickier unless you're kind of aggressive right off the bat. In this case, Qs, right? You had to be like really aggressive right off the bat in this case for SPY and the Qs. We're just gonna see how kind of the Qs develops around these key areas. I don't really have too many levels in between, so we're just gonna kind of see how SPY and Qs reacts around really your 590 and really down towards your 586 now. So yeah, higher time frame on Tesla now, right back to our key area from yesterday, which is your 340 for Tesla, right? Pretty steep kind of move down in towards this level within the first kind of 15 minutes here. We'll see if buyers kind of step in off this area, but now you can see fairly steep push down with the overall market on Qs. But Tesla technically is still bullish. These higher lows are being built. You kind of want to see this area be used now for that like next leg kind of back towards the highs here. We'll see if there's a reaction on Tesla. So far, Tesla would be kind of this inside bar. We're basically a couple inside bars here on Tesla. So far, we haven't taken out your previous day highs in the past couple of sessions. As for Tesla, a little bit of buyers kind of stepping off this 340. I wouldn't be opposed to looking for a potential reversal on Tesla back towards the upside. This would be more of kind of like a swing, but not like a swing, like an intraday longer type of move if it can hold this like 340. Yeah, so far Q's still fairly bearish. You don't really have any levels that it could bounce off of. It's just kind of these like smaller time frame levels. The only higher time frame levels I have is your 503 and down towards your 498. For SPY, similar thing, right? 590 down towards your 586. In between these areas, could price have a potential like V shape off here? It could. I don't think it will. I think most likely just consolidate and probably head lower. So for me, what I like to see on Tesla is something like this, right? We can now use this as like a swing low, like 141-ish, 140, 30 as our potential risk if we can break above. And then we want to see kind of this reversal play back on Tesla. Has to close back above this 1-minute order block though for this to be valid. The only problem about this Tesla, if for a move back towards the upside, is that the Qs is bearish. Um, we'll kind of see the reaction so far, Tesla has not closed above and it's actually rejecting off this key area. So we'll kind of see what the Qs does. Qs, as I mentioned, still bearish. We'll see if Tesla gets bought up this higher low or if it's going to make a fresh low. If it makes a fresh low, then I know I had the wrong thesis on Tesla. Yeah, SPY really, if you're looking to short SPY, it's basically off this. If you could have had a little bit of a nicer entry off this order block, your risk is right above that key area. I don't think buying down here, selling down here for a move lower. If you can get like a nicer entry, risking off this high, I think it would be a little bit better for the SPY and Qs. All right, I like this price action on Tesla now as it kind of reclaim this key area. It has to close back above this 340, for me to be interested. If I was looking, I would be looking at the 345 calls on Tesla. So far, Qs, Tesla has not closed above this key area. So far, it's still in a technically a 1 minute downtrend, right? You can see lower highs being put in. I like to see that breaker structure. I like to see something like this come into effect on Tesla. Has to break back above this key area for me to be interested. Yeah, so far Tesla, Qs really and SPY still within inside this middle of the range here. Tesla has to reclaim that 242.60 area. SPY is not really showing really Qs. There's not really any levels of support, so that's why it's kind of just in this level. Not really buyers are stepping up because really the key area is technically all the way down towards your 586 on SPY. Really for Tesla, it's going to do one of two things, right? Really based off this key area, right? If the Qs ends up dropping down, SPY dropping as well, Tesla is most likely just going to end up heading towards lows. If Qs ends up reclaiming a key area, then what we're going to have on Tesla is potentially this in play, this reversal back towards the upside. So what I'm looking for is the close above this 1 minute order block. Tesla coming back up here with the Qs. Let's see if we can get that candle close back above. Yeah, on Tesla, I have the 340. So I just got in some of the 345 calls now on Tesla. Risk is basically this swing low. I want to see all dips now get bought up for a continuation back towards the upside on Tesla. What I like to see, I like to see Qs reclaim this key area. I like to see Tesla break back above and close. I actually do not like that. See this reaction. Yeah, Qs actually is rejected. So Tesla basically has to go on the 5 minute. If it rejects here, I'll actually cut my position. Yeah, I just cut my position on Tesla. I was actually a little bit too aggressive on that reclaim there. If it reclaims this area again with the Qs rejecting, that was actually premature on my end on Tesla. I thought we were going to get that candle closure above that key area, but Qs ended up rejecting off your key pivot low as well. After that rejection, I was looking for that candle closure on Tesla on this candle right here that's 1001, but we actually end up not closing above this key area, which was that 342.60. So yeah, for the SPY and Qs, I like this SPY setup. If I get in here now, my risk is kind of above this level. It's looking for like a 1 to 2 risk above that. But for SPY, nice kind of reject off this 1 minute or 5 minute order block. This one should have continuation down towards that like 586. Yeah, and then Qs would have, yeah, that's your key level on Q. So SPY just kind of gravitated down to it. It would have been super quick just off that reclaim. I don't know if you guys would have been able to catch that, but it was, yeah, kind of either this retest, that was super nice off this one, or once it broke back underneath this level, once you had that confirmation, this was still good as well for a move down towards your 486 on SPY. Now we're back at this key area. So this is the area where you're going to be looking to take profits at. You can look to kind of bar by bar it. Q, similar thing, right back into our key area, which is our 498. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here, talk about my trade recap for today. Ended up taking a loss today on Tesla. It could have been avoidable. Didn't really wait for that 5 minute candle to close. It was technically still bearish on the higher, sorry, intraday. The Qs and SPY was bearish, so I wasn't too fully convinced on this setup. And it took a little bit of a premature aggressive entry. As soon as I got in, basically instant stop. I knew I was wrong, so I'm not going to marry the bias. I know I'll take a loss all day, right? Trading, losing is a part of trading. I'm not going to marry my position. If I know I'm wrong, I'm just going to cut it because I can always look to re-enter. But took the loss on Tesla, a little bit of a premature entry on my part, which was fine. And then I never ended up capturing the Qs and SPY short towards the downside because it was in Tesla. Didn't flip my buys fast enough on the SPY and Qs. So that was fine as well. Also, kind of want to talk about that your execution is not always going to be on when you're trading. Sometimes you're going to have periods where you're not executing the best. You're not always on your game. That can be due to sleep, a bunch of other factors. One thing I always do is kind of track my sleep. I always track my sleep. And really, the past couple of days, my sleep's been awful. Just due to the fact that crypto has been super hot right now. I've been trading a bunch of kind of meme coins, and my sleep schedule has been all over the place. And that's kind of what I also want to talk about as well, is that meme coins right now, you can see they're so hot in the market. You have Chill Guy, you have Bitcoin almost at 100K, you have Solana going crazy. A lot of times when you see, especially on social media, I personally don't post any of that myself. So I dabble into crypto here and there, but I don't post any of that on socials, on like Twitter, Instagram, nothing, because I know that crypto, like these meme coins, it's just a cycle, right? It's just all gambling. So it has some to do with skill, and then of course a lot to do with actually luck in itself. But you'll see a lot of these people, they'll start flashing these crypto gains. They'll make you have a lot of fun, and that's the thing, right? Social media, a lot of people, especially if you're an influencer, it's just like they love creating FOMO. So a lot of times you'll see people on social medias creates a bunch of FOMO, and honestly, by the time you see it, majority of the times it's already over. So by the time you see all this stuff, majority of the times it's always over. And you'll see so many of these influencers, like they'll never talk about crypto ever. Like they'll be trading futures, they'll be trading options, and all of a sudden they're like an expert in crypto. Like those are the people you got to stay away from. But that's why I personally, like, if I'm gonna talk about something, like I definitely talked about it beforehand. I'm not just gonna all of a sudden start talking about crypto just because it's hot, right? There's no point of mentioning it when everyone's mentioning it, because that's like that doesn't end well. Like it just creates more FOMO, right? It makes people want to start switching up, getting into crypto, making money, risking money that they can't afford to lose. So I always tell people, right, if you're gonna trade crypto, do stuff like that, right? Understand that it's all comes in waves, right? When the market's hot, everyone's a genius in a bull market. Everyone's a genius. So whenever the markets are going up, everyone's happy, everyone's a genius. But you have to be very careful, because if you're thinking you're gonna put money into crypto, you're gonna put $1,000 and you're gonna turn into 1 million. Very, very unrealistic. That's like a 1 in 1 million type of trading opportunity. So things like that don't happen often, right? If you're able to capture it, great. If you're not, right, just go back to what you're supposed to do, and that's finding your system, executing your system every single day. So that's what I'm kind of in right now. Like I've made a decent amount of money in crypto. I've actually made more than what I've day traded this month. All my long terms, the crypto, just everything. Tesla long terms been absolutely crushing it. Palantir been absolutely crushing it. Even some of the meme coins. I made a decent amount of money on meme coins. The thing that has been all right this month actually has been my trading, which is actually funny. Day trading wise, everything else has been super good. So we've been in a bull market. Everything's been going well. Day trades, it's been decent as well this month. I've taken a lot of like 84% rolls, a lot of kind of re-entries on the setups. But I mean, that's just how trading is. Sometimes you're going to be on your game, sometimes you're not. But yeah, I just kind of want to talk about that crypto thing. I think that's also important for most people to understand as well. It's just going to come in waves. It's going to come and go. So don't get too fixated on that. Don't get too much FOMO. It's hard, especially if you see so many things. That's why social media is, there's pros and cons. Because a lot of times social media is good when you first start wanting to learn, right? It's a great place, especially YouTube. But after you have your system, after you have your edge in the markets, there's no reason to be on social media. Really, zero reason. When I first started finding success in the markets is when I stopped social media, stopped going on everything, and I realized that I don't need that, because all I understood exactly what I need to do, and I just needed to come every single day. I didn't need any distractions whatsoever. The only reason I started social media is because I understood that trading is actually lonely, and I actually, at that point, right, I was well established. I had my edge in the markets, and I just kind of wanted to potentially like make a community or join a community where it felt like there's more kind of more, I don't know how to explain it. There's more because trading is at the end of the day fairly lonely. So if you don't have kind of things to do outside of trading, it can get very mentally taxing. So that's why I personally started socials, just due to the fact that I used to sit in my office literally like months on. I remember going like 6 months on end without talking to a single person, which is absolutely crazy. But yeah, good times, man. But yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. So yeah, SPY right off the bat, big push towards the downside. We just filled the gap towards the downside as well on SPY. We actually are underneath its previous day highs now as well. We'll see the reaction potentially off this 590 since we're underneath it on SPY. And then the Qs, the key area would be your 503. But for SPY, we're going to keep it on this like 590 level. There's not really any up close candles. It's just based off your previous day high and this gap close as well. We'll see the reaction around this area. Yeah, so SPY's right back into our key level, which is your 590. You can see the bounce so far on Tesla compared to the SPY and Qs. Tesla's holding key areas on the higher time frames. So SPY and Qs bounces, right? Tesla's going to be the main one for a move back towards the upside. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so if Tesla can get any pullback here down towards your like 344, 343 key area, all right, Tesla would be good for a potential move back towards the highs here with the reclaim of your 242 on the higher time frames on the 5-minute. So far, SPY is technically still bearish on the day, but it's coming back to this 503. SPY is right around this 590, right around your previous day high. What I like to see on Tesla is something like this kind of play out. I like to see Qs do something like this, Tesla do something like this as well. Yeah, Tesla actually just took a start on the 350s. If it pulls back here on Tesla, I'll look to add more. But right here, I like the reaction on Tesla so far. If it can pull back, I'll add into a full position. But Tesla on the higher time frame setup, I really like this setup on the higher time frames. Me for Tesla, if I'd like to see the break above your previous, it has room all the way towards 350s and potentially above. If Tesla can hold, which looks really good so far, break of the trend line, I like to see this like push back towards the upside on Tesla. Yeah, what I like to see on Tesla is really this expansion towards the upside, higher time frame, inside bar. Any pullbacks now, I expect to get bought up for a potential push above towards that 350. Yeah, right now Qs is getting back underneath its opening, basically yesterday's close. Qs basically rejecting off this 503. We'll see what kind of forms here on QQQ. See if we can get back above that 503 with SPY as well. Yeah, for Qs, right? Tesla's still holding that 430. I'm gonna give it a little bit room here on Tesla. The Qs, what I like to see is the hold of this like 502. Yeah, Q showed no weakness. Tesla, I just ended up cutting the stars on Teslas. I didn't take any off at Hive Day, so I took the loss on the starters. Tesla's still on the higher time frames. Looks good if you can kind of, if Q's has to reclaim though on the higher time frames on Tesla for a move back towards the upside. So just coming outside here, just grabbing some fresh air. That's what I like to do whenever I finish up trading, just get some fresh air, just kind of reset my mental. Today, a little bit frustrating to be honest. Got in on Tesla, super nice entry, but never ended up taking profits just due to the fact there was a higher time frame setup. I was looking for those higher time frame objectives, but ended up getting stopped out for a loss actually, which is unfortunate, but I know once eventually this setup does go, I'm gonna make a decent amount. So not too frustrated about it. This is a high quality setup. It's still holding key areas. So if Tesla does end up wanting to go, I'm gonna make a decent amount. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that today and tomorrow as well. As for me now, sometimes I just like to kind of walk around, either grab a coffee after I trade or come over, do like a mini workout. Coming to my office here outside. Grab here. So I'm in my mini office here. This is my old office. I'm not sure how many of you guys remember this one, but this is kind of my old office. This is my old spot. Super nice chill area. Now it's kind of just, I don't really use it too much. There is kind of a bench here. So, I mean, I have everything here at my house. So I don't really have to go outside, which is nice, especially during the winter time. It is quite cold, so I don't really want to do too much. Just want to stay home. Everything I have here is at home, so don't have to go outside. If I do, just for kind of necessities. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of chill out, hit a nice workout, reset the mental, get prepared for when that Tesla setup does come, because I know it's just around the corner, and need to be ready because I don't really want to miss out on a great opportunity. Nvidia, Tesla, bounce off 340. Tesla higher time frame still looks good. This one actually. As for Tesla, yeah, I actually just grabbed some 350 next week just as a starter position for this kind of trend line. As for any day trades, we'll look for potential setup, but I just grabbed some starters on Tesla. Kind of risk this my thesis just for this one. Risk kind of underneath swing low, looking for a continuation higher. I like to see this 1 hour trend line break. As for day trades, we'll look at it in just a second, but I grabbed some 350 starters for next week's expirations. I like this kind of relative strength intraday. Well, as for day trades, I'm not like for day trades. We'll actually look at this right here. Yeah, Amazon invalidating this setup. But for day trades, I'd only like to see it. I have to see something like this for a day trade wise. Yeah, Nvidia's. I just grabbed the 233s on Nvidia. This is the only one I kind of like for potential short setup, just intraday. The rest of the tickers, this one back underneath this key area. I'd like to see it kind of drop, head towards the downside based off this like flip right here on Nvidia, just for a quick kind of scalp towards the downside. I'm not looking for much here. I want to see Qs kind of inside this range. I'd like to see Nvidia break underneath low of day. This one has to basically work, and it has to hold this key level right here. So I'd like to see Nvidia do something like this. If it breaks back above, then invalidate it, but it has to hold this 144. Just looking for kind of a quick scalp towards the downside. Has to stay heavy, and the Qs kind of has to drop down here as well. So yeah, currently, I mean, Qs is in the middle of the range. Tesla, some nice reaction off that kind of pre-market high. This one's continuing higher. Nvidia is showing some relative weakness intraday. Same with Amazon as well. So Tesla's more of like, this one's now flipped back bullish in my opinion based off the strength currently that it's showing. This one's more of like a swing on Tesla. I have next week's on Tesla. For Nvidia's, this one's a scalp. I actually accidentally bought the next week's contracts on Nvidia. I was supposed to play 0 days on this one, but for a scalp, but I actually bought next week's on Nvidia's by accident. Yeah, Amazon, Nvidia, this one, Amazon, they're both should head lows now. So yeah, you can scale some on Amazon. Qs just broke lows. You can look to take some off on Nvidia as well. Tesla's still very much, if you didn't get in Tesla on that first, Tesla is very much bullish as well. So both kind of, actually all three kind of theses is working out. The Nvidia's one is mainly just a kind of a day trade, same as Amazon. But Tesla, this one's a higher time frame swing that's potentially forming. Let's see, 345 cons off Tesla. I'm in Tesla next week. Yeah, I'm in Tesla as well. Tesla. I really like this higher time frame setup. So far, a little bit. The Qs most likely just gonna pull back. So, but this one it has time. We can give this one time to work out on Tesla. These ones, the Amazons and the Nvidias, these ones are just day trades. Yeah, if you're taking today's expires on Tesla, it might be a little bit trickier. The key level is going to be kind of this like 340. It's still technically inside this range. So for Tesla, you want to be on the 5 minute, 5 minute, and you want to see it kind of break this, start breaking out this trend line, something like this, right? You like to see it kind of build up, and then you like to see this kind of flip and push back towards the highs. This might take a while, right? It might not like break out right here, but as long as it maintains key areas, that's why it's like, because you can see every time it's kind of got stuff so far. So at this trend line, so this one, it might take a couple of tries on. Oh, Tesla is exploding. Yeah, Tesla for me, as I mentioned, this one's going to be a swing. I'm not looking to take profits at this 350 level. I'm looking for this trend line break, and I want to see this like expansion towards this 360. So something like this, right? Trend line, right? Multiple touches, right? The more times it touches now, this is technically the first day it showed some relative strength, right? Most of these days it had like a little bit of relative strength, not too much intraday, but this one's clear intraday relative strength compared to the Qs on Tesla. Today's like the first day with, you can see right, Qs at low of day, Tesla basically at high of day. Wow, that 5 minutes actually insane. Yeah, I like to see the break above this area. So now Tesla's most likely going to have a reaction off this area. I want to see the break above and then continuation as well. If you're scalping it, right? Let's say you're trading this intraday, right? Take some profits here, right? If you have a higher time frame thesis, right? You can also take profits here, but we want to see the break above the 350 now. So if you're playing daily or for maybe day trading it, you can look to take profits up and towards this key area. That's the main target. Is going to be like this 360. So far with its relative strength, I expect it to continue higher here. So yeah, I just cut the rest of my Nvidias. Nice small win on Nvidia. I only had the next week, so it's fine. And then Tesla, both trades actually, they're all working out. Tesla, I'm up a decent amount on just the starters on next week's cons. We'll see how this candle closes. Look at the daily chart. This one's going to close solid, right? You can see this daily candle close. I like to see it close up here. And if it closes above this 350, right, next week, potentially we could have already move up towards that 360 key area. So we'd like to see how this candle closes on the daily time frame. There's a very good chance we expand towards that 360 higher time frames. So far, buyers are stepping in. First dip got bought up. This is what we like to see. Now we like to see something like this in continuation higher as well. Break above. Really, this is your last kind of mini area. This is your weekly kind of pre-market high. So weekly pre-market high, we like to see 5 minute candle closes above, right? We like to see something like this. Bam, retest, continuation. Yeah, no, these next weeks are printing. These even next week's contracts, I couldn't imagine if you're playing 0 days, they're at $12 from 7. No, these are cooking. But yeah, I am going to call it here. Let's see, Amazon popping off. Yeah, Amazon. I mentioned those ones are day trades. These ones, Amazon and Nvidia. These ones are day trades. Tesla. This is the swing one. This is the main one. And that's a great way to end off the week. We're able to capture finally that Tesla push towards the upside. I have 10 of the 350 calls for next week. Realized half my position. Could be up a little bit more, but I only realized half. I'm about to swing my half. The rest of my position towards next week. We also did take an Nvidia day trade towards the downside as well. Super solid. As you can see right here, I have my kind of trades imported on my TradeZilla. Up $12,000 for the week, 50% win rate, 4 winners, 4 losers. Profit factor 3.89, 60% win percentage, and as you can see right here, the average win to loss trade is $4,000 to $1,000. I talked about this yesterday about being patient, waiting for that higher time frame to set up, right? Tesla was still holding key areas, so we're still looking for that higher time frame trendline break. We finally got it today, and we're able to capture basically the full move towards the upside. So beautiful trade. We'll see what happens next week. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure to let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this. I've never done something like this before, so if you want to see kind of more behind the scenes, more live trading, just let me know what you guys want to see in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next week for a brand new video. Peace.